Yo, what is poppin' on the 420 Army? It's your boy Miley in 420, and I'm gonna start off with what the fuck is going on? Yeah, that's pretty much starting this video on a bad note because we're just getting a bunch of shit ton of pointless sequels. Like, why? Some of these have been announced for a while, but then they just dropped the Shrek 5 trailer, which I don't even know what this is. Like, I did watch it. It's like 30 seconds. There's memes and just get an image, open a new tab, and I'll show you guys. This was the image from the Shrek 5 teaser. It literally Shrek, Fiona, Donkey, and then Shrek and Fiona's daughter. It's like, okay, so Shrek and Fiona's kids are teenagers now, and also, why do they all look so hideous? Or they're all funny looking. I know it's been 16 years since, or 15 years since Shrek Forever After came out. It's like, why are we even making a fifth Shrek movie in the first place? Shrek Forever After was supposed to be the last installment, so now we're just gonna start milking Shrek now? Like, why? The first two Shrek films were good. But then 3 and 4 were just horrendous, and thank God, that killed the franchise, and now they're trying to bring it back? No! And also, the daughter here is voiced by Xenia. I don't know who that is, but yeah. And also, why is she the only kid shown in this trailer? Where are the other two kids? Unless they are going to make an appearance in this film, and they're not, and they just weren't shown here in the trailer. Why does Fiona have longer hair, and why does Donkey have like a freaking mohawk on his head? I don't even know what type of story there is to tell at this point. Same goes for Toy Story 5. Oh my god. They are milking. You know what? I'm just gonna put Shrek aside. That's pretty much all I have for Shrek. I don't even know what the fuck they plan on doing at this point, but Toy Story 5. Oh my god. They're gonna start milking Toy Story now. It's like, why? The third Toy Story film was already a good closing, and even though I thought Toy Story 4 was decent, they didn't really need it. They could have just combined Toy Story 3 and Toy Story 4 into one film and basically had it where, like, oh, so Bo Peep and whatever the duck and the rabbit's names were at Sunnyside with Lotso. It's like, hold on, duck. Well, I'm gonna figure out what those characters from what the hell were the names of the duck and the rabbit? Ducky and Bunny. Basically, these two ugly bastards. Like, yeah, they could have just made it where they were at Sunnyside, and then they could have had the films end there, but even though it was nice to see Woody and Bo Peep reunited, because Toy Story 4 was a little contrived, and I don't even know what Toy Story 5 is going to be. It's like, why, Pixar? Just after you managed to get out of your dark ages with Soul and Pixar, with Soul and Onward, Soul and Onward practically saved you from getting shut down. If you continued making more films, you would have ended up like Blue Sky Studios, which is the original company that made Ice Age. And oh my god, we're gonna get to Ice Age soon, but we're gonna expose Toy Story 5 first. What's Toy Story 5 even gonna be about? Because I don't even know what it's gonna be like, because there's no story left with Woody and Bo Peep happily reunited, and Buzz and the others just gone. Like, why? You couldn't have made a sequel, because I mean every other Pixar movie that they made doesn't really need a sequel. Like, maybe a sequel to Turning Red or Luca. I don't know. Those films were good, but I mean those films were decent, but they weren't fallen gems. So I cannot believe since Soul and onward, Pixar hasn't made a post Cars 2 gem, which is why Coco is special. Coco still gets that speciality rank of being a post 2 Pixar film that ended up a post Cars 2 Pixar film that ended up being a gem. And I'm warning Pixar, if they bring back that Rod Torque Redline death sequence curse they had throughout the 2010s, which if you're wondering what the fuck is with this Rod Torque Redline death sequence curse, well basically I explained a little bit in my Brave review, which I'll link that in the description, where basically what it is basically in Cars 2, there's a scene where Rod Torque Redline, he's like from Cars 2, there's a scene where he gets tortured and killed. Basically, Pixar just would end up milking that scene, and like every time they made a 2010 Pixar film, every time they get stuck, or if they were like trying to figure out how to work out a scene, they'd be like, hey, remember how we got away with this torture scene in Cars 2? Let's do it again, but make it similar. It's like, no, that ruined like so many good films, and they even try to cover it up by throwing like something else that's stupid. God, all I'm saying is, if that curse comes back, I'm just gonna quit Pixar as a whole. Never watching any of your films again, which hopefully Hoppers is good. Pixar's making another movie called Hoppers. I hope that ends up being good. And, yeah. Now on to Ice Age 6. What is next at this point? Unless you're going to finally reveal how Scrat got frozen at the end of the first film, then there's literally no point in making this movie. Because I am reviewing the Ice Age films individually, so I can like explain like where they started going downhill. Like the first Ice Age, I have that scheduled for March 15th, which is the film's 23-year anniversary. So that could have just been a good standalone on its own, and then in April I'll review The Meltdown, which is it's sort of like a Floodmorning. I don't really know what it kind of seems like a unique style, but then they kind of ripped off. It's like, I wouldn't really call it a rip-off of Jaws because of there being two water beasts that are stalking the animals, trying to escape from the flood, so God. And then Ice Age 3, Dawn of the Dinosaurs, I'll review that in May, and basically discuss if it's an original masterpiece or if it's a ripoff of Jurassic Park, which I've never watched the Jurassic Park film, so I can't really verify whether or not it's a ripoff of that, but yeah, that was kind of like a good ending for the trilogy with Manny and Ellie having a kid. And the fourth one, Continental Drift, I'll review that in June. Explain how that started milking the franchise, because they literally decided they would rip off 2012. It's like a 2012 Pirates of the Caribbean hybrid, which I'll post a poll. I literally have 2 thumbnail ideas for that video, for my Ice Age 4 review in June, whether it's going to be if I do one with Davy Jones or if I do one with Barbosa. So you basically can vote which thumbnail design you like better, and then I'll apply that to the video once it finally does go public. We just had to do a Pirates of the Caribbean meets 2012 meets Ice Age film that is just dull, and basically just find a reason for Manny to get separated from Ellie and his daughter, Peaches, who was born in the last film. It's like, yeah, you just had to make Manny all selfish again, make his own daughter hate him. Even though he did deserve that. But yeah. And do not even get me started on the 5th film. They decided to make Manny all stupid and selfish again, literally ignoring everything that made Peaches hate him in the last film. And then we had to have a freaking asteroid slam into Earth. It's like, what the fuck were they going for? Now, wondering, are you going to review Collision Course in July? No, I don't know. I've been meaning to bring the Bad Movie Rewrite series back, and then I don't know what I'm going to do with my bad movie rewrite reviews of Cars 2 and Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, because those videos are a little outdated, so I'll probably just do the rest of the bad movie rewrites, like, do an old one, do one I did before, which was Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Star Wars Phantom Menace, Shrek the Third, and Grown Ups, and then start doing some other films I had planned on doing in that series before I stopped doing it. Which, oh yeah, by the way, Shark Tale was going to be episode 7 in the Bad Movie Rewrite series, but then I just kind of forgot to post it, so. And Ice Age made Buckwild Disney Plus. That was horrible, so I am not looking forward to Ice Age 6. I don't even know what movie are they going to rip off this time, and what's the story going to be. Are Minnie and Ellie going to have grandkids now? Yeah, there's like literally nothing you could go on these 3 sequels. However, some sequels I do have a little bit of faith in are Zootopia 2, which is coming out later this year. I have some faith in that because Zootopia was really great. It's a 9 out of 10 film. Would have been a 10 out of 10 if not for that terrible twist villain. Yeah, Zootopia unfortunately got into. However, Zootopia did fall victim to a curse of where they had like a bad twist villain. It wasn't as bad as the Rod Redline death sequence curse that Pixar had, but this twist villain didn't outright ruin the films. It just made them it just kind of decreased them from having like a higher rating. But yeah. Even though, I forgot to mention with Toy Story 5, even though they did make Inside Out 2, which was okay, at least they managed to get rid of all the stuff that was all the flaws from the first film. Like, there's no Rod Redline death sequence curse in the second film, there's no mean-spirited stuff. It was okay, but that's why if Pixar decides to continue it, so all I'm going to say is either, if you're going to milk Toy Story 5 and fall back into your dark ages, either give us Inside Out 3, where we see Riley after her 18th birthday and she goes back to Minnesota, or either go back and fix the first film and make it what it should have been. Because if Toy Story 5 comes out and the Rod Redline death sequence curse is back, then I'm probably going to quit Pixar. And even if they make Inside Out 3 and decide to milk the curse again, then no, I'm done with Pixar at this point. I'm never watching any other films ever again. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to get out this angry rant on like a sequel milking problem. I still haven't seen Moana 2 yet, in case you're wondering, but I know I've been saying this for a while. Once I do finally watch Moana 2, I'll give my thoughts on it, so yeah, that's basically it for this film. And let me know in the comments, are you actually looking forward to any of these completely pointless sequels? And if you are, let me know which one, because yeah, that's literally it, because these sequels are just totally pointless, except for Zootopia 2, which does have some benefit. As long as they do everything the first film did, minus the god-awful twist villain, they should be fine. So yeah, please like, comment, share, something.